What's going on YouTube? It's Chris here from Friendly Frenzy Games, and today I'm going to quickly show you the easiest way to get all three tiers of the Gatherer achievement in Raft. Now, like any good survival game, resource gathering and crafting are at the forefront of the game's mechanics, and Raft really is no different. The Gatherer set of achievements in Raft are fairly easy to collect because the best way to start accumulating materials, at least in the early game, is to use your plastic hook to salvage these items from the ocean. You'll unlock the Beginner Gatherer achievement for hooking 100 items, the Intermediate Gatherer achievement once you've hooked 500 items, and finally the Expert Gatherer achievement for hooking 5,000 items. Now obviously there are more efficient ways to gather resources as you progress through the game, mainly by using collection nets, so it's definitely important to note that this achievement, although labeled Gatherer, is very specific in its description to hooked items only. This means that anything salvaged on land or plucked out of the ocean or collection nets using your hands will not count towards this total. Another important thing to mention is that you don't need to hook all 5,000 items in a single playthrough. This is a cumulative total across all of your save games and even includes the items that you've hooked in worlds that you might have deleted. To get started with hooking items, you'll actually start the game already with a plastic hook. Now this tool will need to be recrafted often, but the resource cost is very low at only 1 plank and 2 plastic. As you progress through the game, you'll have options to make much higher quality hooks, like the scrap hook and titanium hook. Each of these present a faster, more durable hook that allows you to throw a further distance than the hook that preceded it. You'll likely be well on your way to collecting items with collection nets by the time you've unlocked the titanium hook, but be mindful that it is still the most efficient hook for gathering materials specifically for this achievement. Now the scrap hook can be crafted with 4 plank, 2 rope, 6 scrap, and 1 bolt, and this is likely what you'll be using around the time that you unlock the Intermediate Gatherer achievement for hooking 500 items. The titanium hook can be crafted in the late game with 4 plank, 2 rope, 1 bolt, and 3 titanium ingot. Now as I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, you'll likely have no problem hitting the beginner and intermediate levels of the Gatherer achievement for 100 and 500 hooked items just by naturally progressing through the game. If you're looking for a way to fast track your progress to 5,000 though, for the purposes of attaining this achievement, you're going to want to use this next method to save you a bunch of time. First, you'll want to have as many stacks of a single item saved up as possible. When you do, open your game menu and go to Settings and then turn off the autosave option. Next, you can transfer as many stacks of this item as you can into your personal inventory and then head to either the perimeter of your raft or an island and manually save your game. Now you can start splitting these stacks by throwing each item off one at a time until you've drained your inventory or your patience. What you're going to want to do now is quickly fill your personal inventory with items that aren't what you threw into the ocean and then return back to where you threw these items down. If your items still remain here, now you're going to want to manually save your game and then you can start casting your hook to quickly and easily collect all of the items that you dropped. Because your inventory is full with other items, the materials that you're collecting actually have no place to go and will drop back into the water. Doing this over and over again, the nice clean line will eventually break apart, which makes them harder to collect. You can choose to quit the game without saving and reload your last save point to easily repeat this process. You'll end up at the exact same point on your raft with all of the items dropped back into the water so that you can hook the same row of items very easily. Now even though you're not technically storing the items that you're hooking, Steam does track the achievement progress for each item hooked with each relog, making it very quick and very easy to farm 5,000 items for this achievement. Obviously, depending on how many stacks of materials you have saved, you may need to do this more than a few times, but it is far and away the fastest way to collect an achievement that's only been collected by slightly more than 1% of all Raft Steam players. If this video helped you, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Friendly Frenzy Games for much more game-related content.